You talk about about the possibilities of that front line, and have you spent a lot of time in the offseason thinking about what they could be doing, or are you excited about the prospect?
That's a word I don't use very often anymore. Excited, but I think I'm looking forward to seeing how they play. Lamar's got to make an adjustment. He's had an advantage at a power forward. The last couple seasons, especially playing power forward and a guard slot, out there offensively. So, he's going to have to make some adjustments, and we're going to have to see how he does with that. He's got a role. Powell's got a role playing on the floor with Andrew. He's got to face the basket a little bit more and play facing the basket role or high post role. So yeah, we have some adjustments to make as a team, and offensively we have adjustments to make too.
Phil, do you still consider this a young team, or is it sort of middle-aged?
I think you'd say we're still on the young side, but our leaders are old guys. Fish and Kobe are considered old players. Now, 30 and 33 or whatever. They are. They're going to be, the senior citizens on this team, and they're experienced. But we have a lot of young players. You think of Sasha and Jordan and Lamar. I mean, not Lamar, Andrew and Trevor. You're talking about four very young players that are second unit, can play together with a lot of speed and a lot of energy.
Moderate Kobe's minutes is getting to that point.
Yes,
start to watch.
Without a doubt.
To what extent?
Well, it's a pivotal player that plays a big role on a team. I think anything under 35 minutes is really tough for him to stay involved in the game and go back and play with the kind of energy or carry the energy back on there on the floor. So you can't let players sit too long. But that's kind of a goal I think he and I'll have to work out. But I think 38's a little bit too much. 38 to 40 is getting too much at this time.
I know you weren't completely sold on the idea of Olympic basketball, but what did you think of the way Kobe sort of embraced that and what he put on
I was pretty impressed with the demeanor that team had. They're in control. They got a little bit. They did some of that American stuff that's been grating to some of the other teams, but I thought they stayed under control and they had a real good mindset. Defensively, they played hard. They carried the energy in the games most of the time. I didn't see them get out of, disappointed, get out of control, get into the officials. I like that. Kobe played well. I didn't think he shot well, but I thought you could see that he was definitely a leader on that team and definitely had a big influence on those players. I think they deserve a big congratulations. I think by and large, they were convinced how important this was to basketball, to USA basketball, and they carried that charge and did a good job of it.
They might be looking for a coach. Are you interested?
So what?
USA basketball, they were looking for a coach.
No, not my.
Do you think at all about a year ago at this time, how much different the atmosphere was surrounding this team?
Well, yeah, I don't think about it, but you made me think about it now, so it is different.
Now that I've done it, what do you think about it?
There's always those little issues with basketball teams. Always someone's coming up for a contract. Someone's got a free agency sitting on their table, and there's always a little level of tension that's going on, and players have to play knowing that they have to conform to a team. It's a we issue, not a me issue, and basketball business goes right against basketball team, and they just fight against each other. So these players have to take off those issues and put them inside by the time we get in camp on Monday and understand this is a we situation, or else we're not going anywhere.
Something you've talked to Andrew about a few years ago. He's in high school now. He's kind of on the brink of a major economic decision for him. Have you talked to him about that, or are you concerned, that this could get into his head?
I'm not so concerned about Andrew. Maybe some of the people around Andrew I'm concerned about, but with Andrew, I think Andrew's level-headed. He knows what he wants to do. Basketball's not an issue. The economics of basketball, I don't think that's an issue with him right now. He knows he's got a future ahead of him, and I think that's what's important to him.
You had mentioned Trevor as one of the guys who's been absent for a lot of the season in the finals. Have you seen enough of him to sort of have, I guess, a role and vision for him? What do you want from him?
I don't hesitate to say that, if this team doesn't work out the way I want it to, Trevor may be a starting player in that first five. I mean, I may just insert him and, convince Lamar to come off the bench, if I feel it's better for the team and, we don't feel as comfortable on the floor as I'd like us to feel. And that's the role I see Trevor playing for us. I think he's going to be a person that does things defensively and offensively for us that are going to be big pluses.
Would that be plan B, though, behind plan A of Lamar starting and making that large front court work?
Yeah, I have to give that an opportunity. I think, they deserve an opportunity to see if they can play.
But who's the center and who's the power forward? What do you envision?
Oh, well, Powell's much more mobile than Andrew is right now. And he handles the ball better. He can play outside. He's got an outside shot that is actually, we know he can shoot. Passing-wise, he's probably a better passer facing the basket. He's played high post. Facing the basket opportunities he'll be fine with that. But they'll have to have interchangeable roles a lot of times in our offense and defense.
How's your special guy, Vladimir, doing so far?
Well, Vladdy's not come out and played with these guys at all because he's just afraid he might get hurt. So we're saving that for training camp and hopes that he doesn't. But he looks good. He looks good. He's worked out. He looks like he's healthy. He's got the same jocular nature about him. He's carrying himself well. But I haven't seen him shoot the ball except, just in, shooting drills that they've gone through on the floor.
Have you ever had real high octane shots?
Yeah,
All of
so,
the players
still.
throw them up there?
But they're there. He's one of the best shooters on the team still.
Have you ever had two big guys like that? And what are the challenges of having Kyle and Andrew on the floor at the same time?
Yes, I have. Scott Williams, who is a 6'10", 6'11" center forward, and Stacey King, 6'10", 6'11" center forwards, played in Chicago for 3 years during those three championships that we had the first run alongside of Bill Cartwright. And they had to play together. They played a backup role. They didn't play a starter's role. But, we've used big players like that on the floor.
Other than the usual suspects in the West, who do you look at as a team that might make a move on the press?
Well, we think Portland may make a move. I mean, the usual suspects are all the guys that were in the playoffs last year. But, Portland, with the addition of Odom, could be very much in the running of this conference. New Orleans seemed to help themselves. They got Posey. The Aussies, they did lose our guard.
Fargo.
Yeah, they lost Pargo, which will hurt them, but put a bigger role on Paul. But Houston, I think, will be back. With their lineup back healthy again, and Dallas, who last year had a little bit of an off year. It'll be an interesting team to see. Dallas, Phoenix, I think, will be the two interesting teams to see how they come out of the gate and play.
Phil, a few minutes ago you called this a curious training camp. Could you elaborate on that? Why do you think it'll be a curious training camp?
Well, some answers. We need some answers in training camp. Probably won't have them all until the first couple weeks of the season, but we'd like to find out some things. Last year, we found out that Kobe couldn't play a position that I want him to play in training camp. He went out and got in the push guard role and went up and down the court and lost the ball 8-9 times in a quarter. It seemed like, but we tried him at something that was unique and it didn't work, and we were able to make the adjustments.